Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again to another episode. Uh, as always, I am your man, K Marvel.
Evening, everybody. It's your boy QS.
Big Stretch is running a little late, so he will be here soon.
And it's your boy, StrykerDragoon.
And as always, well, at least as of right now, we are three of your four corners of commentary. So, oh wait, I didn't change it. My bad. Which one was it? Pam. Well, that's one of them. Ever. I'm sorry, you gotta excuse me. So, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Gentlemen, how was yours?
Quiet.
Um, okay, for
Just quiet.
Hey, sometimes it's not a bad thing. Same. But war games. There's a lot happened in these past couple of weeks. Uh, war games was did not have a lot of matches on it, but a lot of things happened. Uh, I'll leave it up to y'all. Do y'all want to wait for Stretch to talk about war games? Do you want to talk about some of the things that happened throughout the week?
Um, Depending on how long he's gonna take, because it's still 50-50 right now. Um, I guess let's just talk about whatever we've seen with wrestling past couple weeks. We've been doing Survivor Series, for the whole month of
Couple of
November.
weeks.
So I guess we could talk about, upcoming or, incoming developments and shit that's happening all over.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I think right now MJF winning the world title is one is obviously a big topic.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
QS.
long overdue. We'll just wait. Just gotta wait and see. Wait and see if Maxwell is gonna be the mover he needs to be,
Mm.
and that's all we got. Just hope. Let's hope to see the best. That's all.
There's Thunder Rosa relinquishing or them pulling it, or whatever the case. Jamie Hayter is the official women's world champion.
Mm. And they officially recognize Tony Storm's reign as an AEW Women's World Champion.
That's good.
So that's overdue as well. I feel the Thunder Rosa situation was not going to get better. Her being, I guess, away for as much time as she has been, and you have women who are busting their ass, week by week, trying to elevate on an interim sense, which you shouldn't really have interim titles. I feel she should have just dropped it. But you
Apparently,
know,
allegedly, she asked and they said no.
wow. Well, then that goes with the problematic Booker situation then.
Mhm.
Um, but hold on, let me fix my fade. Disappearing, yo. Shit.
The Kiwi strapped in the Matrix
Multiverse of
dog.
green screen. Yeah, so that I think that's cool that they're recognizing them. They're trying to do stuff with the women's division. I mean, they're just in general, AEW is trying to do something, but it just seems like every which way that they're trying to build something, it's like one step forward and five steps back, and it's been that way for a long time, unfortunately. So I don't necessarily know what they plan to do,
Mhm.
but I can only hope the women's division somewhat improves. You bringing in Soraya, you bringing in, Willow Nightingale, you bringing in, all of these other talented women, and, you're giving them this slow burn or this slow push when really you do need this type of star power. You do need these people to build your division in a way. Willow should be top of the card, if not top 4 or 5 women, top 3 or 5 women on the card, regardless to what. And it's sad we have Jade that has the star power, but the matches have all been lackluster in terms of the wrestling. Um, Now she's in this feud with Shad Moss. I'm not calling him Bow Wow. He's a regular human being. Just treat him as such. But now you have this full blown feud now, and it's just ridiculous. I think she has a better celebrity choices. Everything she said last night was correct. She's a star. You put her next to anybody else, and if without people knowing, the repertoire, and they choose Jade every time because she has the gifts, she has the look, she has the mic presence, she has basically the star power. But
She just lacks the skill.
exactly. But it's not 90s, but it's like old wrestling syndrome where I feel like we watch all of these old Survivor series and you see that the wrestling may have been lacking, but you had characters regardless to what. And it feels like a throwback to that as opposed to, what we've been getting in the past 10 years, which is actual, technical wrestling shows, ring psychology, all of these, intricate pieces of wrestling in these matches. And, we've been lacking star power. So Jade is on the precipice, I guess you could say, of having the star power, and she's up here with the star power, but the wrestling's taking a lot longer to match the star power. So she says it. She said it on Breakfast Club. She said it multiple times. I'm here to bring in, the people that don't watch wrestling, or the women especially that don't watch wrestling, and say, hey, who's that beautiful woman that's wrestling, that's beating up all these people? And that's the gateway into, more viewers, or fitting another demographic, rather than them going for like the youth, or the 18 to 49 demographic. Get more women involved in that. You start to see a lot of women at the AEW shows, and it's great. You see a lot of women at WWE shows too, but you're trying to reach out to that different demographic. So,
Right.
What else? We missed out. I think a lot of people glossed over the fact that WWE is doing deals with all of these different companies now. I think it's very crazy, and it feels like a shot in the arm, like an energy shot in the arm. Like we're seeing Shinsuke Nakamura doing matches with the Great Muta in Pro Wrestling Noah. Carl Anderson just came over from New Japan and he had the title. I think he dropped the title. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he dropped the Never Open Championship. Never Openweight Championship, excuse
No,
me.
I think he wrestles.
He still has it?
Yeah, he didn't relinquish it.
December 15th, I believe.
Yeah, he's not relinquishing it.
Oh shoot! Wow.
Yeah, it was never relinquished. It was just at the time he just couldn't defend it at that moment because he's
in Saudi. Yeah.
Yeah, he never was giving it up. He's not relinquishing it. He defends
so that's even more just adds to the point of look at where we were just literally a year ago, and look where we are now. WWE doing partnership deals with other companies, WWE acknowledging history from other companies, other countries, NXT promos or NXT packages for call-ups happening on Raw and SmackDown. We're in a different world. It's like Bizarro world.
Side note, he defends his title on the 14th.
Okay.
He defends against Hokuleo.
Okay, so they're continuing that. They're still going to keep that match sacred. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they just moved it. That's all.
Cool. So that's not bad. But then we have that. We have
There
We
were a
have
couple of returns
in
since we've been
WWE.
gone. Yeah, we saw somebody that we are not supposed to know, but we know Scripps debuted, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing match.
Mm,
I think he's really gonna show out.
yeah, sure. Um, he's Willow, dog. He's Willow.
I mean,
Um,
I liked it.
he looks like Willow, dog. Um, hey, so that Stretch saying the Wi-Fi is out. But he would like to remind everyone, contrary to what you all may think, this is Striker's doing.
Mhm.
Well, a storm is coming in, and it's not Jade, sir.
But he also says he's the reason for this current outage.
That's true. Darkness falls.
So, uh, yeah. So there was that. Dijak came back with the
So happy. So happy.
disrespectful comment by Booker T. Uh, Instead of just hyping the man who came back like the Terminator. I guess he's a
Mm.
Terminator now. What else happened?
Um, besides War
William
Games,
Regal.
yes,
Allegedly.
that segment from last night was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Because the rumor is apparently that he's going back to WWE. So
Yeah,
they just gave him a really long write off.
Yeah.
Which I mean that's kind of crazy, you know. He had the Blackpool Combat Club, and that pretty much went by the wayside because of horrible booking. Um, I feel they went to the well a bit too much with Mox. I don't think they needed to make him a focal point. I'm good. It's pretty tiring at this point. Brian's doing whatever the fuck. It's very sad. Claudio's in this whole shit with JAS by himself now, and it's just a never ending
Yuta's there.
cycle.
I mean,
Well,
the thing,
that's it, right? Yuta
you
is
know,
just there.
the thing about the Blackpool Combat Club is they were supposed to be a group where they're supposed to be recruiting. It was like a select,
Right.
like a select club, like a very select elite club where they are like bringing in younger talent, bringing them in, building them up, and basically running roughshod through the whole AEW division. That was always supposed to be the focal point. That's what was supposed to be the goal. And the problem with the Blackpool Combat Club is that in the terms of them molding this group, they lost their fucking identity. Sorry for cursing. They lost their identity.
Oh no.
They literally lost their complete identity in this whole shuffle. It was whether it was a back and forth with the Jericho Appreciation Society, whether it's was the back and forth with Mox and Punk, Mox and Hangman, Mox and just always putting Mox in the title picture. You know, you guys got Claudio. You gave Claudio the Ring of Honor World title. Did nothing really with it. Gave it to
Nothing at all.
and ended up giving it to Jericho. So it's just like that group. It was another example of it looks good on paper, but but executing wise, booking wise, it just wasn't it. It wasn't it, and it's unfortunate. You want to hope that upstarts like Wheeler Yuta doesn't get lost in the shuffle, and is able to keep the momentum that he was getting, is able to just push forward with it, because Wheeler Yuta he's pretty damn good. You want to see more of him. You want to see more of him in better storylines. But I think in the just the idea of the Blackpool Combat Club, it's just that would have been better. The idea of the Blackpool Combat Club would have been better when it was AEW in the early stages of what it was.
Yeah.
That would have been I think it would have been more better and more cherished. Like right now with their current roster, it was just like It's just another part of like, all right, it's just another faction. It was another faction.
Yeah.
Now we have like just this beef with them and Jericho Appreciation Society. Yeah, that's a few that's now it's just ran its course. It's like,
Question: would you say that it would have been better when there wasn't as many signees?
I think so. Because then it really would have focused on like, all right, they would have been able to, because I think by then the Blackpool Combat Club would have probably been able to even recruit more of them. Like you would have been, it would have been fun to see like a Jungle Boy in
Like the
Blackpool.
coach mentor, like the
Like
mentor mentee.
just stick to what the idea of what it was.
Mhm.
Stick to that. Instead, it was just, but now it's just like, all right, it's like they're this badass club. But it was like their main focal point was really, it was this badass club with legends like Bryan Danielson and you got Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, but it really was just mostly it was just a group with John Moxley and gang. It was just John Moxley and gang because everything was just focused on Mox because he was the champ.
Yeah, Claudio would have been. It would have been cooler, in my opinion. Also, if like Claudio would have came in, and yeah, he would have been like a top guy, of course.
Yeah,
But he also would have been a coach.
Yeah, either
so
like a coach.
it's like each one of them has somebody under their wing. So
right. But it was like they was putting him as just like Claudio is like supposed to be like what the enforcer. He's like supposed to be enforcer. I guess they were trying to push like.
I feel like he's the ROH guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
the ROH guy.
He's the guy that they're going to use for ROH to build ROH, but he's still going to be AEW and part of the Blackpool Combat Club or whatever the hell they're going to be now.
Like Brian was basically like, I don't want to say Brian's lost in the shuffle, but Brian really was just there, just going out, just having just matches with it, just about anybody. Matches,
great fucking matches, by the way.
Yeah, great. He was having great matches with just whoever he wanted to have matches with, and Regal is just, I guess he'd be there as like like the head honcho. Like Regal's supposed to be like the head honcho to be like, all right, giving pointers here and there, like being in everybody's ear, looking out. But it was just like it wasn't the case. They had chances. They had chances to snack some people up. You had chances to get a Dante Martin in there. You had chances to get Dale Garcia in there, and you just.
Lee Moriarty, they had
chances and it just wasn't happening. It was just like, so then it was just, and I guess this is why I say I guess with booking wise, this is why it hurts for the so-called booker to keep listening to the fans because I guess to make it seem like the Blackpool Combat Club was like saying it was this elite club when they were saying when everybody was giving ideas of who else they wanted to recruit. Everybody there was also others that would complain and say, "Oh no, don't keep adding everybody because then it loses its luster." Okay, so you don't add anybody, and it lost its luster anyways.
Right, but it's all how it's just poorly booked. I feel this is a constant issue with AEW. It is constantly being booked horribly, and the man needs help. He doesn't need a writer's room, but he needs a consultation. He needs some type of consultation. You're bringing in all these legends. You should have some producers. You should have some people around you and say, hey, we only have 2 hours on TV, sometimes 208, depending on how much time they let them stretch. Let's make the best of this stuff. I think I was just having this conversation the other day. Was it Wrestle Talks? No, was it Wrestle Talks live show? No. I think it was Grapsity. I was in a Grapsity chat and I was having this discussion with somebody else, and they're like, how would you book? I said that, it's horribly booked. They're like, oh, how would you book the show? How would you book them to book new talent? How would you book them to have the women, shine more in the show and stuff like that? So I said, if we're going to do X, top star, and you want to introduce X new talent, right? you don't have to keep them on dark all the time. You can have a one-off, or however many times you want a person to come on, but have them face different people. You just had AR Fox on dark, I believe, for a couple of matches, and then he had a trios match with Top Flight and versus Death Triangle, I believe it was, or was it Best Friends? I don't remember which one it was. It was Death Triangle,
Death
right?
Triangle.
Okay, so you just had them have a great match on TV, and then now he's signed next week. He's having a match with Joe on Dynamite. You can have this happen. In the early days, that's when they used to throw a Chaos Project on TV. They used to throw all these random people from Dark on actual Dynamite. You don't need to have them to have a 15-minute match, but have them a good 5-minute match. It doesn't necessarily have to be a squash. It can be 5 minutes, get some good offense in, get the person showed on TV, make them show a cool move or something, let the crowd go ooh ah, have them stand out, and
They can use.
keep it going.
Sorry, they can use something like, if you're really that big of a fan of WCW, then use the Nitro look to it. You know what I mean? You have your matches that show the different talent, that show some of the younger talent in between the bigger stuff. The bigger stuff doesn't have to be matches all the time. The bigger stuff can be promos and can be other things. Leave your main event for some of your bigger storylines. Excuse me. Use your first match for some of your bigger storylines.
That's what they've been doing, which is funny enough. They've been opening with the hot match. But you mean like a story match?
But even that, but my thing is, don't give them the hottest match first. You know what I mean? Like, you close the show strong. So, and sometimes it doesn't hit all the time for them.
Right. Agree.
So, but the thing is, like, the stories, like, we used to watch, like, the way they used Paige and Moxley. You know what I mean? They used them for a couple of segments throughout the show. But like use the Nitro format. That would work good with AEW. And not saying that they have to copy everything, you know what I mean? But
I mean, they're being compared to WCW anyway, so I don't think it's an issue.
They're constantly being compared to everybody. That's not anything new. You know what I mean? They need a lot. Tony needs a lot.
Yeah, he just needs help. Like, it's okay. It's your baby. You want to be the final say, you can still be the final say. Each wrestler is giving you ideas of how they want stuff to go. You have the final say. That's great. But you'd also need an outside opinion. You need people who actually write. You need people who actually can produce, and let them give you the ideas. Because it doesn't make sense to me that
every position, period.
Right. Almost. But another suggestion I had was, like, if you have the same, and I said this in the chat as well, I said, like, they show the same 10 to 20 people every week, rather than you having, just the same 10 to 20 people, trickle in another 10 people, somebody from Dark, somebody from Elevation. You can do open challenges. What happened to open challenges? We don't get open challenges like that anymore. We just had Samoa Joe and AR Fox.
TK ruined that one because it should have been an open challenge and a surprise. And he's like, "Oh, this person is going to challenge." No, man, leave it a surprise.
Yeah, let it be a surprise.
Anything. Shut up.
But, like, it's just to me, open challenge is fine. I don't think they should do it all the time, but being that the TNC championship is basically the workhorse championship at this moment, do the open challenges. Samoa Joe is a perfect champion. Honestly,
the king of television, I'm for it.
And he can go with anybody. He can go with the small guys. He can go with guys his size. He goes with guys bigger than his size.
Yep.
And he can go. So it's a step in the right direction, what they're doing with Joe, at least for that one match. But I feel even with the women's division, like they're not doing anything with the women's division. They're not. You just got a new champion. Congrats. But you're still. How was that? Yeah, you just got a new champion. Congrats. But you're still running to the well. We don't need Britt Baker on every show hogging TV time. Put that for somebody else. The fact that we got a segment or two women's segments and a match, crazy to me. Or was it two matches? No, it was one match, which was Willow and Anna Jay. Like that's a step in the right direction, but it's the same 5 people or same 7 people, I guess you can say. Throw somebody new in there. Make it a little bit more interesting. And the Rampage is not doing what it's supposed to do. So you have to start funneling more people on Dynamite because not everybody's watching Rampage.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Real quick, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because I can't hear myself. Oh, there we go. Stretch would also like to state that the slanderous attacks on his character by Stryker will not be tolerated, and he is seeking legal action. He is not an egg-sucking dog.
Are you sure about that, sir?
Wow. More slanderous attack against his character. The views of Stryker is his alone and does not reflect the folk on as a commentary.
Damn right it is.
But so with that being said,
yes.
One last thing. Was there anything else? Good to see all 5 of them together. I'll say that. Like unified, the bloodline. I know we're going to talk about it, but god damn it, they look good. Damn it, they look good.
Yeah, when we get to that part, we got to talk about a press conference too.
They look good.
I don't know what Trips is doing, but the press conferences so far, the way they're blurring the line of real and kayfabe, I guess you could say, is actually really, really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Absolutely good. And that I think the Sammy one is the best one so far. Yeah. Sammy and Heyman. But we'll get to that, I guess, when we talk about the match.
True. You know what? I need to text Stretch. I'm gonna use his phone, damn it.
I told him. He said it doesn't look clear. So I'm like, okay, still get on.
It is what it is, bruh. It is what it is. Q, you good, brother?
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah.
All right, got you. Trying to hold out. Yo, did you get Pokemon?
Nope, not planning to.
What?
Game Freak, you're fucking up, man.
It's not bad. Not horrible.
I don't like glitchy games. I do not.
Yeah, could be worse.
Oh, it definitely can be worse. If you think this gen is bad, I can imagine what they do for a next gen Pokemon game. They need help.
I mean,
Nintendo has a shitload of money. They need help.
I mean, well,
help them.
I wouldn't even say it's just like they need help. I just think that from what it seems like, this version of Pokemon was a dope in the right direction. It was dope change. It was a long time coming. It just sucks that they're locked in with the whole Nintendo rights that it can't expand to like other consoles. Like this idea of the new gen of Pokemon, I guess this new generation, it would be better on like a Xbox Series X,
something more powerful,
or PS5. Like that open world thing is better. You ain't
Even
never,
on
you ain't
PC.
Right.
yeah, you don't know. You ain't never heard of no goddamn. This is like the first that I've heard of an open world for like Nintendo. It's like the first. It was like, okay, so it's obvious it was going to be glitches. It wasn't going to come out perfect. It was never going to come out like it wasn't even going to come out with an 8. It was just there's going to be a lot of bugs. It's trial and error for them. They just gotta
Yeah.
It's just you just gotta hope that it'll stick in this right direction. Like okay,
Yeah, but it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game by any means. At the core, it's still Pokemon, but it's it is what it is. Like you do what you got to do. It's still a fun game, and the open world aspect is really good. Outside of like the rendering, because the rendering, especially on the older Switches, it just takes a while for it to go through. So,
Right.
like it is, but it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to dip my toe into some new Pokemon games, and in terms of like the Pokemon game water, and I have not. And honestly, nothing's keeping my interest with these games. Honestly, like I jump on my PS4 and I play what I can, and I feel so much more immersed in that, and to get a new Pokemon game is great, and they're doing things that should have already been implemented, but to say you have this money, you're doing this online infrastructure, and it's just not doing what it's supposed to do, it's very disheartening to me.
I mean, look,
people exploiting the game like Blue and Red Days, that's great too. I don't mind the exploits, but for me to buy it at $60, nah, I'm good. I will take it at $40.
I think
it's not worth the $60.
I think you're putting too much expectation on that. I think that's what it sounds like. It's like you're putting the expectation is way too high. It was just a change. It was never. This is a first. It's a first for them. You gotta give it a shot. I get it, but I get it. You're entitled to feel that you don't want to pay $60 for it. Understandable.
No, just like the mainline games, like I feel they're experimenting, but I feel the ship has sailed in a sense. And this is something, it's not Pokemon alone, it's Nintendo in general. Okay. Why did it take this long to get to this point?
Well, because bro, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Agreed, but this is Nintendo. This is Nintendo in general. That's how they are. So that's why I feel
they're trying to expand the story instead of sticking to.
But that's why we got That's why we got Arceus when we got it. That's why we got we've been getting Mystery Dungeon. We've been getting all these side Pokemon games, and I get that. It's just, to me, I feel me skipping the DS generation for as long as I did, and to my first Pokemon game to get was X and Y, and then still not play a game after X and Y, I feel for me, just the Pokemon ship has sailed. I don't feel I can go back to it anymore. So I know they're trying their best to, innovate it and add things and do different things. I get it. I appreciate it. It's just, for me, it's the ship sailed.
You missed out on a good era if you
oh yeah, of course. I honestly love the Pokemon they had in Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, and those were probably the best storied games out of maybe the whole series. Yeah, I would say
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum is probably like the story.
The best story for sure.
No, I wouldn't say the best. It's neck and neck with Ruby and Sapphire. Ruby and Sapphire is still king. Like that, the story of Ruby and Sapphire is like neck and neck. But it's like, but you missed out on a good era. You definitely did. It's just I get it. You might have just outgrown Pokemon. That's fair.
Yeah, I think I could say that. I've been playing stuff like Shin Megami. I've been playing Digimon. I've been playing like a lot of more different Disgaea, I guess I can say too, which is fucking ridiculous to play. But
Wait, you've been playing Survive?
I tried to get Survive and they canceled my order, so I would have loved to get Survive. I was trying to get it for Switch and they canceled my my order. GameStop. So I would have had it, but I'll probably get it. I think there's an end of the year sale. Yeah, but wasn't that rumored? But that was rumored. Gen 1 and 2.
Yeah, you missed on the DS era. I could see why the series would.
Yeah, it's just redundant to me. Like, look, I'll even give it even better. Shin Megami's redundant as fuck. Shin Megami Tensei, you find the same monsters, you capture them, you fuse them. It's the same shit.
I mean, that's the whole point. But that's the whole point of being a Pokemon.
But the story is the same basis of the story.
Never heard the song? I wanna be the very
like that's the whole. But that's always been the purpose of Pokemon. You're a kid on an adventure. You're going. You're having fun with the starter Pokemon. That's supposed to be
most of the adults are dead.
Like as your best friend. You occasionally you stop. You're a kid that's stopping an intergalactic crime organization that just so happens to want to use the so-called legendary Pokemon of that game to destroy the world or cause world domination. And you stop it. That legendary Pokemon sees you worthy and decides to challenge you. You challenge it, you catch it. And then you go and challenge the Pokemon League like any other trainer, and you win. That's the whole purpose.
Times.
It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like every season. Just it's how it's all supposed to be every season. You're supposed to battle. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not supposed to be having. It's not going to expect to have. Start a family, have kids. You're not expecting that. You're just
they
a kid.
wouldn't do that.
You're not going to go that far. You're just a kid.
They're gonna make Pokemon a light novel, romantic light novel.
I could see.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I could see that because it's so redundant. I get that, but you could just see like it's made them. They just stick with that formula because it's like, look, it's made them so much money for decades. So it's just like, well, everybody's gonna keep on doing it. It's the same thing with Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z still makes fucking money.
Same shit. True. True.
I
guess I've just outgrown it.
Diamond or Pearl or Ruby or Sapphire get their version of Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
Their Heart Gold, Soul Silver, yeah.
Oh, I would die. Sequel to those. Yeah. A sequel to Silver and Gold would be crazy. All right. Well, why don't we jump into War Games?
Yeah, since Sir Stretch is still feeling my vengeance.
Yeah, we're just wow.
In Harlem.
Wow. What hate? Why don't we just go from the top, work our way to the bottom? The first match of War Games was the women's War Games match. On one side, it was Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka. Why am I blanking out on the last one?
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim. Thank you.
Me too.
And it's mission. And it's recorded. And it's on the internet. Mm-hmm. Versus Damage Control, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross.
Which could
Gents,
be...
What you think?
Huh. Funny how life is, right? We had the tag team. They broke up. And in some way, shape, or form, they're back on a War Games team together. Thought that's funny. I just noticed that. Great match, physical match. I guess one of the two deeper story matches, which is why both matches were in War Games, because they were both the deeper matches of the roster, I guess you could say. Physically great. We're getting the storyline of possibly Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair very soon. Bailey and Becky apparently are going to be a thing out of this. Don't know what they're doing with Asuka, unless I honestly don't know what the hell they're gonna do with Asuka. But one of the interesting story bits is Alexa Bliss. For the past few weeks, Alexa has been looking like she just doesn't want to be there, or her head's in the clouds, or it's like, oh, whatever, like what's going on. So a lot of people thought it was something, in regards to her personally, but a lot of people are speculating it's something to do with Bray. A lot of people are speculating maybe she's gonna turn at some point. So
it's not a speculation. It's more of a reality. It's the writing is right there on the wall. It's just a matter of when is she gonna do it.
True.
Like honestly, I'm glad. Sorry, I'm chomping. I'm really starving. I'm glad to see that Bianca is finally done with damage control. Because this match was it was like Super Bianca and Becky versus the team. Like they pretty much it was just those two that pretty much washed the entire damage control, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross. Like, thank God it's over. I would see it's time for Bianca to just get some new fresh blood. So if it looks like, I really do think it's either going to be Rhea Ripley that's going to be her next challenger, or if not Rhea Ripley, it's possibly going to be Alexa Bliss. Because again, Alexa Bliss, and it makes sense because Alexa Bliss obviously wants the title. They just came together to just beat that one common foe, damage control. That's done. Becky and Bayley, it works too. Because as you can see, they damage control, like the group itself, it's like they want to take over, but at the same time it's like, yeah, y'all want to take over, but y'all are losers. But you guys still have a problem with Becky Lynch, so okay, you guys have that storyline going with there. Overall, it was a good opener.
Yeah.
The women did their thing to help open the match. Io Sky, even doing that flip, that was cool. But Becky Lynch doing that leg drop off of the top of the cage.
Top of the cage.
Pretty cool. Pretty nice spot. But overall, it was cool. It was a fun match. They did what they needed to. It got it done.
Yep,
it was a good way to start the pay-per-view for sure.
Imagine they called Becky from home and said, hey, we want you to do War Games. And, she gives a quick answer.
Talk about it.
She gives a quick answer, and then she calls again and says, hey, I want to do a leg drop off the top of the cage. If that's not dedication, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
No matter what, when you see Becky on this screen, Becky just brings a certain energy. So you have to you got to give her props for that, no matter how you feel about her. Mm-hmm. No matter if you're tired of seeing her on this screen, tired of seeing her with the belt, it's different when she's on that TV screen. It's different. She has the presence, and she was needed. She was needed for that to help end that storyline. She was needed
because technically it started with her.
Right.
So I feel if she didn't get injured, they probably would have finished that storyline a while back.
For sure.
So the fact that she healed up well and she's great, I think that's wonderful. But definitely. I think that's the biggest thing to look forward to is what's happening with Alexa Bliss. Because the way she acted during that interview on Raw Monday, I would think something was wrong with her.
No, just simple.
So I just want to see. I want to see if she's doing a really dark turn, or if she's just going to be. She probably is going to be that bit of mix of both, Dark Alexa and the evil. I wouldn't say evil, but the heel version of herself, I should say.
I just think it's time. They did their thing. They got rid of damage control. They're done with that. Back to business. She gets the belt. That's all.
Establish herself as the villain that she can be.
That's all.
What's the next match, sir?
She's coming home. Trisha, yeah, they're foreshadowing a turn for her.
Yeah.
Next match was the women's SmackDown Women's Championship match. Miss Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi. Yeah. Poor
Besides Brian Kendrick being the producer,
poor Shotzi. Like her.
Shotzi needs to go rest herself. Turn, just be off of TV for a little bit. Go train.
Shotzi's not bad, bro.
She's not bad, but
not Shotzi's fault, bro.
I don't think people notice that she limps a bit when she's running or walking now. Yeah. I don't know if she's working injured or not, but it's coming off a little awkward.
I'm pretty sure Ronda needs to stop.
It's Ronda, bro.
I think it's quiet, man.
It's quiet. Think it's Ronda?
It's done for her, bro.
So you think Ronda is just blatantly just not doing anything?
I don't think it's that she's ran her course. I just think when you compare her first run, I actually went back and watched Royal Rumble, Ronda versus Sasha Banks. You want to keep it a buck? Ronda was bad in that match as well. Like people really like when you go back and you rewatch these matches and we think like, oh, her first run was so good and everything. She had so much passion and dedication. She wanted to learn the craft and everything. Even that whole match with her and Sasha, Sasha was carrying the hell out of her. Made her. That's one thing. She made her look good.
Made her look great.
A lot of them made her look great. Nia Jax made her look great. Like she's just. I think it's just the fact of the matter is that Ronda just doesn't want to do the rehearsals. She doesn't want to rehearse it. She just doesn't rehearse. That's why it just looks awkward. It looks awkward. It comes off awkward. Like a lot of the spots, it just doesn't. It just looks lazy. It's lazy. So you can't stop that. It is what it is. It just goes to show like Ronda just doesn't need the belt on her. Her popularity,
I don't think she needs the belt on her.
Her popularity is going to give her the oomph, but she doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. She just needs to just be that.
Does she have that popularity anymore? It's not the same.
It doesn't have to be the same. She'll always have it. Her name's in the UFC Hall of Fame is in the books. The only ones that want to try to disrespect her legacy on that aspect are fans, UFC and wrestling fans, because they have some type of personal vendetta against her and they don't personally know her. But other guys like the actual UFC legends or guys like Dana White and et cetera, they always gonna have respect for Ronda.
Absolutely.
Athletes are always gonna have respect for her. Like you can't do what she did. She was a trailblazer.
No, you're right. For sure. But I just personally think she needs to step out of the WWE ring. It's just I just feel so blah about it. Like,
yeah,
it's very Hangman-ish, and I hate to continue to use him as an example, but like, it just is, man. It's very much like very Hangman-ish, and I don't know. It's just not it for me. It just doesn't rock with me. It's not hitting. Honestly, it's just not hitting. But we're going to the next match. If I'm not mistaken, it was the triple threat match. The triple threat for the United States Championship, which was the almighty Bobby Lashley versus the visionary and the U.S. champion Seth Rollins. Excuse me. Versus
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
Which is fucking great right now. I think this is
Austin Theory ends up winning
in a very smart way.
Mm-hmm.
Great match. I think everybody got a bit of offense in, and the winner winning in the way he did was very fucking great. Because either which way it can look like he was planning it, or it can just look like, it happened by chance. But this is the Austin Theory that we should have had for, over a year. Just this badass, aggressive side of him. Take no nonsense. Shit, Seth couldn't even get under her skin the other night on Raw. So I can imagine what he can do. No, if lost my train of thought. It'll be interesting to see what he can do as a champion. We seen that Seth is still chasing him at this moment. I'm pretty fucking sure Cody's gonna be the guy. If not, that big, swirling rumor of John Cena, I can see him doing something with John Cena later on.
Most definitely. I think Cody, when Cody returns, I think Cody's still on record to be the one to win the big one, to win the belt. He doesn't need to be doing and going with any more feuds with Seth, or doesn't even need to feud right now with Austin Theory. There's no need. It was that was a pretty good. It was a pretty good finish. The spear into a pin.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. That was nice. It was a nice sneak. It just goes to show that the kid is smart. That Austin Theory, he's smart. Well, I wouldn't say he's smart. He's just lucky.
Yeah,
very. He just has incredible luck.
Oh God.
Keep dreaming,
That's
brother.
all he asked for.
You gotta keep dreaming, brother.
It wasn't a bad match by any means. All three put out one hell of a show performance.
Not at all. I think he did a stomp off the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stomp, there was a lot of that.
The off the back stomp was pretty dope.
Yeah, off the back stomp. That was pretty cool. So
yeah, it was good. It was good. Was there another match in between that? In between those two? Was there only 4? I thought there was 5. I'm blanking out. No, I see.
Women's War Games.
No, it wasn't. It was Finn Balor versus AJ Styles.
Oh yeah,
yes, which was a good match. It was a really good match. Actually.
Of course, it was.
Yeah.
Much needed match. 1-1 now. So I think we get that final match at WrestleMania.
I hope so.
And I think that might be for custody of AJ. I think. Or that might be a match where loser joins whichever faction. So I think that would be dope if they do that, and then you can end it with
just thinking.
Trying to think, you can end it at WrestleMania just like that, just a faction war, and then if they really want to do Finn versus if they want to do Finn's group versus the Bloodline, or AJ's group versus the Bloodline, like we can do AJ versus Roman again if we need to. Like that would be perfect.
I feel like the loser joining the other person's faction is lazy booking.
Interesting. Okay.
There's lazy booking because no matter what, a heel joining a face faction is never. It's not. It doesn't hit the way y'all think you think it does. It looks good on paper, but it just is like, no. At the end of the day, like, there's no point of a villain joining the heroes, unless it's another common evil. There's no point. I just think if the only way that works is if you're gonna say if Finn loses the Judgment Day, has to break up. That's the only way that shit is valid. Otherwise, it's like him just joining the OC is just like, No, for what? Like y'all could just jump him out and just let him join him just that way. That's the only way that shit.
On a roll though, the Judgment Day. So I don't even know if that would be the best right now.
Yeah,
it all depends, I guess, within the next few months.
Yeah, they're red hot right now. They're having fun.
Yeah, man, really. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the match. I don't think anybody thought that the match was going to be garbage to begin with. So,
oh no, some people had their reservations, feeling like because they're
stupid.
Of course they are, because they're old. They're old, and it's just like they don't want to see it, and because I think that's because they don't. A lot of folks just don't care for the OC, and some folks are just not Judgment Day. Yeah. It's fair, but no, it was still a good match nonetheless.
Right. They weren't going to let you down.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the men's war game match was the Bloodline.
War Games
versus the team of Kevin Owens, the Brawling Brutes, and Drew McIntyre.
Oh man!
With the winners.
Match. The winner.
Oh, the winners.
The winners us. The winners are us. It was a great match. Wonderful story weaving. When I say multiple stories, we have Roman and Jay. We have Roman and Sammy. We have Sammy and KO. We have Sammy and Jay. We have the Brutes versus the Bloodline. Then we have Drew on his trying to continue his story from Clash of the Castle with Roman. Then you have KO, which is the last choice. Solo. But Solo is the enforcer. So
yeah, but Solo's the reason why he didn't win the title. So that's one too.
Okay, interesting.
I think y'all all missing the fact. Y'all are missing the whole point of the fact of after the Bloodline won, the way everybody was looking at Solo. I don't think y'all realize that their storytelling right there, that Solo is going to probably be the one to break away from the Bloodline. Or the fact is he was sent. He wasn't sent. He probably could be the reason that they implode. He could be the mole. Real shit.
I think Solo could be him or Jay. I think he's the advisor. I think he's the one that was sent for the Rock. Honestly,
he's sent for the Elder. He was sent by the Elders. Come on now. There's that whole entire time. Solo ain't put up that one. You're not putting that shit up.
He hasn't been doing it. That's true. That's true.
For sure.
He's in there with arms folded.
Him being a badass, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, good on Sammy. I guess he did what he had to do. Betraying you. I wouldn't even say you betrayed.
He didn't.
You didn't betray him. It was just business. None of the shit was personal. And even then, like, KO sees it and realizes like, yo, like, it's not personals for you. For me, because if it was the other way around, I would have did the same thing. And KO has literally done it to Sammy multiple times before. So it's just like, it just was what it was.
So many times before.
Yeah, so he just did it. He did it for the sign of loyalty. Did what he had to do. They got the win. Yeah. That's all it was. They got the win. But it was entertaining nonetheless.
That was it. Just that crotch shot, and that was it.
It was just, once again, at the end of the day, storytelling. And it's it's Sammy proving his worth to the Bloodline. It's KO getting his heart broken. Because of what he believes is going to happen. It's Jay getting over this fear of backstabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Roman being able to fully trust and fully everybody really, outside of Solo and Jay, this was really and Heyman, I guess. This was really
Yeah,
Roman and
Heyman's
Jay.
definitely deeply involved. Yes.
You know, it's a lot, and even with the team losing, the Brawling Brutes still got beef. Sheamus still got beef. Drew will always have beef, and now KO has this deeper sentiment to him. So it's going to be real interesting to see what leads up to WrestleMania and especially the Royal Rumble, which is in January. Um, yeah, there's a lot going on for sure.
Mm.
Overall, what would y'all rank it through 10, 1 through 10?
I'd probably give it an 8. I just the Ronda match really fucked it up for me. But in terms of the two War Games matches, great. AJ versus Finn, you can never go wrong with that match, no matter in what capacity you do that. And what else do we have? Nothing else, right? Maybe I'm about. Oh, the U.S. title. Oh, sorry, the U.S.
The
title triple threat
yeah.
match. I can't even ignore that. Like that was my match choice of the night. That before that match happened, but the men's War Games, they left the most storied match for the end, and that's how it should have been.
It's a solid 8. The men and the women's War Games match, they were smart. It's just for match placement. Smart for putting them both, the women to start and the men to end. That's what actually carried the show. Overall, it was a nice. It was exciting. It was a nice. I guess you could say it was a nice experience to see and like be a part of. Obviously, it would have probably blew it over the moon if it was because it was in Boston and Sasha showed up. That would have been like, I know everybody would have been like wilding out and everybody would have been like probably turned this into like a straight 10 perfect 10 pay-per-view. But for what it worth, for the roster that they have, they did what they had to do and it worked.
Yeah, for sure. Stretch said he gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Interesting.
Said it was solid from top to bottom, same as the women's title match.
Like the women's title match was the only one that was just like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I think Theory and Rollins would be an excellent feud. Remember, Theory was originally a disciple of Rollins back in the Thunderdome era.
That he was.
Yep.
Good points. Bring up good
so
points.
It's like a father and son relationship thing, I guess you can say, right? Oh, well, quick thing. Before we finish off with the Survivor Series, the press conference. As I said earlier, I love that they're blurring the lines of, the people and the character. So, Sammy is being, asked about, how he feels about what's happening. How does it feel to see people saying that, Kevin Owens is going to turn on, he was going to turn on the bloodline and such and such and such. And, he's telling them, he said, everybody, even the IWC is basically doubting him, thinking that he's going to turn. And he's saying, it's hard to separate himself from Kevin Owens because of their 20 plus year history. But I wanted to pledge my loyalty to the bloodline. And for Heyman to chime in, I'm saying this all out of place, but, for Heyman to chime in and say that you see us, trying to hold back a laugh on live TV in front of the world. And what else did he say? He said that Sammy clearly has proven that he is something special. Paraphrasing, but he basically said that Sammy's something special because of what he's bringing to the table. He was supposed to just be a short time act, but because of what he's been bringing to the bloodline, the humility, the humanness to the bloodline that he's been bringing, that's why they constantly call him back week to week to do stuff with them.
Sammy can reach a different demographic, and that's something Heyman said at the press conference. Stretch said Sammy and Bret Hart have a lot. Oh, sorry, let me do this one first. Sammy made a great point about how the word prime can be taken for granted in wrestling. Sammy and Bret Hart have a lot of similarities in the sense that Bret Hart hit his stride later on in his career with his mic and character work. Same with same with Sammy and his character.
It's true.
I would also give it 8.5. I gotta agree. Everything was solid except for the women's title match.
Yeah.
Everybody. It seems like everybody really had a good time and enjoyed working with each other. And we already see like where this is branching apart. Kevin Owens has beef with the Bloodline outside of Sami Zayn or Sami Uso. So there's a lot of different things going on. We gotta wait to see what's going on with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. But yeah, man, there's a lot going on. So, but we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And gentlemen, let's do what we do.
As per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
Felt like it was only right?
You guys already know just to follow me at Instagram and Twitter. Just engage. It's all fun and games here. Thank you for following. Happy holidays.
Oh, my bad. Press wrong button.
It's me, it's StrykerDragoon. I'm tired. God of War streams. I am halfway through the game. I am about to do something. What was I doing?
Don't ruin it.
I'm playing a. Oh,
wow!
I feel like Johnny B. Bad 99.
Wow!
And you know who is the reason why?
No, wait. Hold on. First off, you want to come on to the end of the show? Hold on. Sorry, Strike. I gotta take this down for a sec. What is happening? How?
let's close out the show real quick. But
That
yes,
was- Right, here, hold on.
streaming God of War. I'll be back on tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'm a bit rested. I'll be back on tomorrow night, and we'll be streaming some more God of War. I'm doing side missions. I'm trying to get the platinum trophy, and that's about that. 15 more subs to 100 subs. And once I hit 100 subs, we do a double game giveaway. On a gaming note, I will not be here next week.
He'll be busy.
I will be co-hosting the Game Awards next week.
Hey, so make sure you stream that.
I will be streaming. I will put the link on, all of our social media stuff. And I'll have my Discord chat. We'll be chatting during the Game Awards.
Hell yeah.
If you're interested, I'm hearing what the fuck did I hear today? Somebody was having a long segment. I forgot. Some game was getting revealed in a long segment. You might see some Mega Man stuff get revealed.
I hope it's Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, yes. Might see Spider-Man 2.
Hope so.
But I'm hearing a whole bunch of stuff may get revealed. A lot of big stuff's getting revealed next week. So stay tuned. Also, if you want a Steam Deck, there is a sign up for a Steam Deck through Valve. And for every minute of the Game Awards, which should be about 3 hours and change, they are giving out a Steam Deck.
Every minute.
180 minutes, that's 180 Steam Decks. So definitely sign up and make sure you get yours as soon as possible. And that's that.
What's up, dog?
Absolutely disgusting. The unmitigated gall.
Look at this
the arrogance
dog.
of it all. Disgusting. For you to try to silence my voice, Doctor of Philosophy, Timothy Stretch. Shame on you. What is going on here?
There you go. How are you, buddy? How art thou?
Disgusted. annoyed, perturbed, besmirched,
Perturbed.
dismissed.
Well, just like your internet, sir, you are dismissed.
Wow. Wow, the disrespect is real.
I did that.
The disrespect is real. Well, I mean, think of it this way, Stretch. He's not on next week.
Right.
So, I don't know.
So, spotlight's all yours again next week, buddy.
Damn dirty. As always, I'm your man, K Marvel. You can find me at Mr. Marvel87 on Instagram and Twitter. You can always follow the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Council of Commentary, TikTok at CO Commentary, and excuse me, I said all that wrong. YouTube is at The Council of Commentary. Twitter is at CO Commentary. Pardon me. You can follow all of our stuff on some of your favorite streaming platforms, such as YouTube, again, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio. Hey, man. Love you, dog.
Yeah, he'll be off next week. He'll be off. And I'll be here. You know what I'm going to do?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill his creation. I am going to inject the Council of Commentary with a lethal dose of poison.
Are you really going to bring the NWO?
With the NWO.
Could it be a wolf pack? Could it be the wolf pack?
Bruce, get in here.
Sorry, you can't say that theme song was not bumping.
Definitely was.
Is he Millie rocking? Did that just happen?
Hi,
Yo, as always, the four of us are your four corners of commentary. Peace out, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.